Welcome to the 84th annual meeting of Rock Energy Cooperative. At this time, I'd ask the board of directors to please stand. I'd like to thank you for all your effort and hard work. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. The quorum has been met. There is 28 registered members, so we have a quorum. If there is any objections to waiving the reading of the notice of the meeting, proof of mailing, if no objection is raised, Bill will announce the reading has been waived and unanimously consent. Got a motion and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. If there's no objections to the minutes of the 2019 annual meeting, will stand approved as printed in the March edition of the Co-op magazine. No objections, we'll continue. In the interest of time, given this year's extraordinary circumstances, we refer you to the financial report found in the March magazine, which is placed on your seat. On behalf of Rock Energy directors and employees, I'd like to thank you for attending the 84th annual meeting. We'll be keeping our remarks very brief, unless you want to talk about the Packer game. For obvious reasons, the gathering is different than any other annual meeting we ever had. We originally scheduled the meeting on March 30th, so we were only 189 days late. Using CDC recommendation safety guidelines, tonight we're able to safely transact the business of the cooperative for our 84th consecutive years. During the pandemic, the board continued to meet virtually for our regular scheduled board meetings. We were updated on what co-op was doing to keep the employees' members safe while providing reliable service to our employees and members. I want to thank the employees. The directors would like to thank the employees for the dedication, efforts during the pandemic. It's very important to have good employees. As we have done in the past 84 years, despite these uncertain times, I can assure you Rock Energy will continue to focus on serving energy to the needs of our membership. It's an honor for me to serve as board chairman of such a wonderful organization. Thank you for participating in the business meeting tonight at the Cooperative. Now I'd like to introduce to you Shane Larson, the CEO of Rock Energy.
Thank you, Bill. Well, good evening. We truly appreciate you coming out tonight to be a part of our 84th annual meeting. In the interest of safety and efficiency, my remarks will also be brief. This past March, everything changed with COVID. As an essential company, we took many actions to help ensure that we would always be able to serve our membership. Most of the safety measures we took initially, we continue today. That includes closing our offices to the public. At this time, we don't have any set date as to when the offices will reopen. That decision will be based on making sure that we do what is right for the membership as a whole. Soon after we began to understand the massive impact of COVID to the co-op and to our members, we evaluated ways we'd be able to help our membership. Here are just a few of the actions that we took. This spring, the board increased the capital credit retirements an additional $829,000, which brought our total up for the year to $2.3 million. Throughout the pandemic, we lowered our power cost adjustment, which in effect lowered everybody's electric bills, and we provided additional funding through our Rock Co-op Care program. Many of our members, some of you here tonight, contributed to the program through our Project Lift Up. So a big thank you to all those members who helped their fellow members during the pandemic through the Project Lift Up. Financially, the co-op has recovered from the steep decline in sales we saw during the first months of the pandemic. And it's important to note that the vast majority of our members did an excellent job making their monthly payments. And we know that wasn't always easy. Operationally, using CDC recommendations, we have been able to keep our crews safe and busy while maintaining our electric and natural gas systems. I'd like to wrap up by thanking our employees for the tremendous work they've done to work safely during this pandemic, and I'd like to thank our board for their continued guidance during these troubling times. It's only by working together that during this pandemic that we've been able to provide the same level of service to our membership that we have for the past 84 years. Thanks again for joining us tonight, and please continue to be safe.
At this time, I would like to introduce our attorney, Niles Bierman. He will conduct the elections. He'll walk us through the whole process.
Thank you, Bill. Good evening. So since the nominating committee met in the spring, it probably doesn't surprise you that a couple of candidates decided to withdraw from the election this evening. So this evening, we only have one contested race. We have 3 districts whose terms expire at this meeting, Districts 6, 7, and 8. The report of the nominating committee was printed in the March edition of the Co-op magazine, and it's been the practice for the membership here at the annual meeting to approve the minutes of the nominating committee. So at this time, I'll ask if there's any objection to approving the minutes of the nominating committee by unanimous consent. So if there's no objection, I don't see any objection, they will stand approved as printed in the March edition of the magazine. Next, we'll turn to the election. I'm going to do this a little out of order. I would ask your indulgence if we could first take care of the elections in District 7, then District 8, and then turn to our contested district, District 6. In District 7, the one candidate is Bill Deach. You met Bill. And under a bylaw amendment that you adopted a couple of years ago, the bylaws now permit elections in uncontested races to be done either by unanimous consent, voice vote, or something similar. So to avoid the need for ballots, I would ask you now how many members present vote for the election of Bill Deach, who is the only candidate in District 7. So if you would please indicate by saying aye that you consent to Bill's election. Aye. Any opposed? No. Motion carries. Bill, congratulations. In District 8, Ron Richards is the only remaining candidate. Ron, if you would stand, please. Thank you. And we'll follow the same procedure now. So all those in favor of electing Ron to represent District 8 for the coming 3 years, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. That carries. Congratulations, Ron. And now we come to the contested race. It's been our practice to permit each of the candidates to supplement the biographical information that was in both the September as well as the March editions of the magazine by coming up here, letting you see them, and allowing them each to speak for not more than 2 minutes to supplement the information that was in the magazine. And we'll do this in alphabetical order. So the first candidate is Randall Johnson. Please come forward. and the steps are a little slick, so hang on to the rail, please.
Hello, I'm Randy Johnson. I've lived in Rockland for 25 years. I'm married, 5 children, 7 grandchildren. My vocation was mainly newspaper business. I bought my first paper in Elkhorn, Wisconsin in 1987. Sold that for 8 years later. And I went and joined Rock Valley Publishing. I was a publisher there for the rest of my career. I retired when the newspaper was starting to fade away. I'm on the Rockland Township Board of Trustees, and I'm running for re-election there also in the spring. I'm currently helping out the Bridens at their Ford store in Durand. I think my business experience certainly makes me qualified. I'm a visionary with the community. I've been very involved in the community with many projects, and I enjoy working with the community. I think my knowledge of business and of the community makes me an ideal candidate. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. The second candidate is Clark Schooner. Clark?
Hello, I'm Clark Schoonover. I've represented Region 6 for over 5 years now. My wife Alice and I live on Westerfield Way in South Beloit. Been employed by Collins Aerospace for almost 48 years. Been a small business owner, served on our community in the South Beloit Fire Department, Police and Fire Commission, and a member and president of the Library Board. We've been a co-op member since the purchase of the Illinois Territory in October of 2007. I've achieved NR's ECA accredited co-op director, board leadership, and director gold ratings. This has taken a commitment of taking 20 classes, which require about 1 day each. Excuse me. If re-elected, I plan to sustain this through continuous training. Each month, the CEO and staff appraise the board of the financial and operational condition of the cooperative. This allows the board to make informed decisions and form policies that ensure continuous improvement for the co-op and members. The board focuses on many areas that impact our members. Safety is always number one for our linemen, office staff, and members. Reliability is another area that we work on to ensure that members get what they expect and deserve. In early 2019, we completed upgrading our electric and gas meters to the latest in metering technology. This provides valuable data to both co-op and the members. Price stability is another important area addressed through a partnership with Alliant Energy and 2 other cooperatives. As investors in the new West Riverside power plant, we feel we can provide safe, reliable, and affordable electricity long into the future. Member satisfaction was a key subject at last year's meeting. I look forward to ensuring that our members stay satisfied with the service provided. This has been a very unique year in many ways, and this meeting is proof of that. We all look forward to some return to normalcy in our work and social lives. I can attest to the efforts of the entire staff of Rock Energy in keeping what you receive at your electric or gas meter being one constant upon which you can keep counting. I'm honored to serve in my role in making that true and would appreciate your vote to continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Clark. Our third candidate is Gary Yeiser. Gary, if you'd step forward.
Hello, my name is Gary Yeiser. I'm married. My wife Cindy is here. 4 kids and 6 grandkids. Live in Rockton, Illinois. Lived there for 3 years. Before that, I lived in Boone County, Illinois, just outside of Rockton. I've served on many boards. I have an executive search business that I've had for 20 years running myself with my wife, and before that I was on in a company in Rockford, serving 10 years there. So I've been involved in supplying members to boards, finding board presidents. I've been on the board of, started the first FOP chapter in the police department I was in after I left the service. I was elected or asked to join the Rockford Chamber and become the second chairman of the President's Club for the Rockford Chamber. And I served there for 8 years. I'm used to board activities. I think I can bring a unique experience to the board. I have a vision for how things should be, and I'd like to use my ideas to see this organization, the co-op, become even better than it is, and I hear that it's done very well. I don't know a lot about energy. I don't know a lot about the co-op, but I didn't know a lot about the police department until I joined it. I have been successful in my business. I'm looking to probably retire somewhat, and I can spend time giving my ideas, using my marketing skills, using my people skills. I've been in the people business my whole life. Look forward to your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. I know a lot of you left your ballots, marked and cast your ballots when you registered this evening. I'm assuming there's still some ballots out there to be cast and collected and counted. Yep. So if you mark your ballots now for your selected candidate in District 6. And then hold them up, and when you've completed it, and we'll collect them and count them and come back and report the results very shortly. Thank you. Bill.
At this time, I call for any unfinished business. Seeing none, any new business? Thank you. At this time, I need Christine's. This is for the grand prize of $84 off of your electric bill. Blue tickets, 678039. The other one? The other lucky number is 678037.
So the results of the balloting in District 6, Randy Johnson received 2 votes, Clark Schoonover received 25 votes, Gary Geiser received 3 votes, Clark is reelected to another term. So, let me thank all 3 of the candidates. This democratic governance doesn't work unless we have people who are interested enough in the co-op to volunteer to step forward. So thank you all.
Thank you, Miles. I entertain a motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. Go Packers.